Progressive Field, Guardians and Rangers here tonight, and Tanner Bybee is on the mound for Cleveland.
Making his 18th start of the season so far. Tanner had an unbelievable start the last time out. You can see the numbers there. Look at that ERA. Don't let the record fool you. The ERA has been pristine this year. It's run support with Tanner Bybee, and it's that arm side, arm lane against this team in particular. He did an unbelievable job. 8 shutout innings, just 3 hits allowed the last time out against Texas. And I couldn't think of a better man to get this series started off on the right note than Tanner Bybee.
Now we'll see, too, if he can play from in front, because the Rangers have gone 9 straight scoring first. Here's a look at that lineup that's been effective. Peterson, Young, and Seager, the top 3. Then Berger, Duran, and Carter, the middle third, with Osuna, Diaz, and Nicky Lopez, who's on a 6-game hitting streak. To round it out for the Texas Rangers here tonight. Skip Schumacher, the lineup card.
Well, defensively this afternoon for the Guardians, you got Cooper Engel making his 2nd career start in left field. 4-time Gold Glover Stephen Kwan in center, Khalil Watson in right. Gabriel Arias, Daniel Schneemann today at shortstop. On the right side of the infield, Travis Pizzana and Kyle Manzardo, and Patrick Bailey doing the catching.
Umpires for tonight's game: Brian O'Nora is calling the balls and strikes. Chris Siegel at first. Laz Diaz is at second base. The crew chief, and Eric Bacchus is over at third. It's got to be warm tonight for the umpires, wearing black tops, gray pants.
Yeah, I would imagine it's probably going to be a little warm just on the field in general. Doesn't matter what you're wearing tonight.
Yeah, no kidding. Temperature right now 90 degrees here for a night game in Cleveland. It's going to be warm tomorrow as well for the finale, which is a day game to wrap up this series, and then the White Sox come to town on Thursday. So Jock Peterson will climb in against Tanner Bybee, making his 5th start here in the month of June, and he's been very solid the other 4, as we've talked about. Strike 1 to Jock Peterson, who has 4 home runs in his last 5 games, Chris. So that power for Jock Peterson that he's always had, it's been on display in this past week.
Yeah, it's been a calling card of Jock's, to say the least. Last year did not go the way him or the Texas Rangers planned, but significantly better start to the year this year.
High pop on the left side. Schneemann makes the call. 1 out. So let's go StatCast 3D, presented by Google Cloud. Tanner Bybee against Texas the last time out. Very effective.
Very, very effective. That arm side lane. Look at that left side of your screen there. The curveball, the cutter was huge last time out, as well as that changeup. But that 4-seamer will be in play today. Great arm lane right there, and you wonder if he's not going to take that same approach this afternoon.
First pitch. Josh Young is lined into left center field for a base hit. The Rangers have 1 on with 1 out here in the 1st inning. So a late scratch. Corey Seager slated to go 3-hole. He is a late scratch, and he'll be replaced by the rookie. And, it's Cam Cauley, who made his got his first major league hit last night, a triple.
Yes, he did. It was a triple down the right field line, then followed it up with a 2 RBI single to left field as well. Family was here in attendance.
Well, Corey Seager was on the injured list, that 7-day concussion IL, and since he returned, he was just 1 for 10. And now he's counting tonight. He's played in just 3 of the 6 games he's been eligible.
I think something obviously still giving him a hard time, and they're playing the long game in this, which is exactly what they should be doing.
Cauley looks at a ball from Tanner Bybee.
Chris, I agree with you about Seager in the long-range game, but I think that's the one issue they have with Texas about him. I think when he plays, he's one of the best in the game, but he misses about a month every season now, it seems.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, he's a big guy, and that plays into it. The shortstop position in general, pretty tough from a physical standpoint. You wish you could find a way to keep this young man healthy, because I mean, I have firsthand experience with it as well when we were in the Dodgers organization together. He's one of the best in the business when he's healthy.
Foul tip there by Cawley, and it's 0-2.
And I mean, if you're thinking about it from our perspective, this is a thank you very much. You're taking an elite hitter out of the lineup. I know he's not doing offensively, the numbers aren't what he would like them to be this year, but to switch out a lefty for now a righty who is making his second major league start, you'd like to think that that's a little bit of an advantage here for Tanner.
Yeah, the guy got his first beer shower last night.
That's right.
Got about 5 All-Stars already.
And a couple MVPs in the World Series.
Foul tip. Cawley stays alive. Yeah, and you know, to continue with Seager, he's batting under 200 this year, but he does have 10 home runs, so the power was still there for Seager, and that still, got to remember, he hasn't played in as many games as he typically would to this point.
Right.
Oh, and he does another thing. Tanner threw that over, and the guy wasn't even off. Young wasn't even off the base. The other thing that and I know Chris can get into this when he talks about Seager, he brings a different thing to the lineup because he will ambush you.
Oh, no doubt.
So that's something you've got to worry about because he's one of the best first pitch hitters in baseball.
He smashes first pitch, not just one of the best. I mean, he absolutely crushes first pitches.
That one high to Cawley, 2-2.
Yeah, I don't think anybody.
And trust me, there is nothing but panic there if you're Josh Young.
Yeah, why is the
you're
ball
wondering what in the world is going on.
Yeah, tough time of day to see it.
Yes, it is.
And Zardo, first base, as you can see that sun right in his eyes. Meanwhile, this one popped to the right, now to play. So Cam Cawley's hanging in there. In case you're wondering, Josh Young 1 for 2 on stolen base attempts. So not necessarily a threat to run, but you never know.
Well, that's the reason Tanner threw over.
Right.
Got to let him know early.
He wasn't even leading off. Heck, I love it. They're not a big running team, though.
No, they're really not. They rely a lot on the big hit.
That one high in the air on the infield.
Should be it.
Travis Bazzana making the call. 2 outs.
Well, this is the guy that Tanner's got to worry about. Some really good numbers against Tanner in his career, a couple of home runs. You need to be extremely smart with how you're going to navigate this.
And he's been
just knowing.
He's been on an RBI roll, too.
Yes, he has.
And you see the numbers. He's got a 15-game on-base streak. Jake Berger hitting the ball as well right now as he ever has. It's that one high in the air once again on the infield. Once again, Travis Bazzana makes the call. Once again, he makes the catch for the third out. So the Rangers get a hit, but nothing across. Cleveland coming to bat here at Progressive Field. To the bottom of the first here in Cleveland. Rangers went quietly in the first inning. Let's take a look at what we'll see from Cleveland tonight. Batting order-wise from Stephen Vogt with Travis Bazzana leading off tonight. Chase DeLauder moves to the 2-hole. He's the designated hitter. Then Kyle Manzardo. Khalil Watson cleaning up. Cooper Ingle in left field. Daniel Schneemann is the shortstop. Gabe Arias is over at third base. Patrick Bailey is catching. And Stephen Kwan batting ninth and center. Jacob deGrom's first pitch tonight to Bazzana is low with the breaking ball. That was the curve. Jacob deGrom, four-seamer, slider, change, curve, and sinker.
Well, deGrom is an elite pitcher still when healthy. And unfortunately for us, he's healthy this year. As you can see the numbers here, he is making his 17th start as well of the season. The numbers there very pristine. Strikeouts galore. He continues to not walk people, limit damage, get ahead of batters. He's pretty much everything you could ever ask for out of a elite right-handed starter. But again, health has been the biggest issue.
Absolutely. Now, Stephen Vogt was asked before the game today what makes him so effective. That one's on the inside corner for a strike.
Well, he throws 100, first of all.
Right. And the way he can tunnel, the four-seamer and slider, and those are his main two pitches. And you don't really recognize until it's almost on top.
Well, the spin's too tight, and that's the hard part. Knowing you've got 100 in the tank, as that was one right there, as a hitter, you're trying to gear up. Your rhythm and timing is for that 100 miles an hour. Thing is it's not like a massive speed difference. It's the tightness of the spin. He just does such a good job of spinning the baseball.
Bazzana hits that one well, but right at the second baseman, Cawley. And he's the first out on the line out here tonight. Let's take a look at our Bet365 betting odds. Chase DeLauder hitting second. The numbers on the 0.5 RBI over under.
Well, if you watched any games lately, the over on that looks pretty good tonight.
It certainly does. Yeah, Chase DeLauder, even though he's obviously spent some time on the injured list, he's on an 8-game hit streak that includes games previous to that, so it's like he hasn't missed a beat.
He really hasn't. Again, listening to Stephen Vogt talk before the game, Chase doing so much work when he was on the injured list to try to keep himself ready so he could avoid having to go on a rehab.
There's a shot to left center field. That's down for a base hit. It'll go to the wall. Chase DeLauder on his way to second base. He'll make it easily with a stand-up double here in the first inning with one away.
Well, you want to know when you're a good player is when you can sit slider and take a swing like that on it. This is a backdoor breaking ball that was perfectly executed on the corner of the plate. And Chase DeLauder's swing is so unbelievably smooth. And that leads us into our Toyota keys to the game. Sit soft. What I mean by that is this. Jacob deGrom over 60% soft spin changeups.
Manzardo deep to right center field. That one he hit well. See ya. Two-run homer for Kyle Manzardo. His 10th of the year. And Cleveland takes the lead 2-0.
Well, that is the way the Guardians needed to start this game. I was talking about those Toyota keys. Sit soft, except Kyle Manzardo. It was a 99-mile-an-hour fastball, which teams have been hammering him with fastballs this year. He was ready on time, and that is exactly what this team needed to get going.
Pop on the helmet, Kyle. Two-run homer. And those are the first runs Cleveland has scored off Jacob deGrom this year. He went 6 shutout innings against him back in June in Texas. Now Khalil Watson, but man, Manzardo, that was a line drive as well, Chris. That was not a high towering drive. He just smoked it.
He definitely got behind that baseball. And again, we talked about it being warm outside. What a great day to hit.
As the ball was hit, every guy down here said, it's hot outside, it's hot outside,
Yep,
it's going to go.
True. We all know what that means. And not the first thing you do as a hitter when you come out here, you look at those flags.
By the way, talking about hitting streaks, Khalil Watson's on a 7-gamer. So he bats here with 1 out and nobody on after 2 runs home on the Kyle Manzardo 2-run homer. Down to the count 1-2.
Quickly, I wanted.
Here's a look at our Chevy drive of the game right here. It's Manzardo to right center.
Well, he did a great job of staying on top of that baseball. Look at him come down through the ball, sticking to the big part of the field.
I'm glad you said that because that was a heater up, 95 plus. And for a left-handed hitter to get up on top of that, that is not a usual swing that you see from a lefty.
Not in particular, and in particular with Kyle, just in general. He has really struggled the last 3 weeks in particular with velocity at the top part of the strike zone. That's a great thing to see him make that adjustment this early.
Khalil Watson down for the second out. That'll bring Cooper Ingle to the plate. Now the one thing is, though, against Jacob deGrom, if you've seen him before, you have a little bit of an advantage. Now he is one of the best pitchers of his generation, but as a rookie, never seeing his stuff before, that's quite a challenge.
It's a challenge regardless. I mean, this guy is unbelievably good. Arguably the best right-handed pitcher of his generation.
Yes.
Yeah, honestly. Clayton Kershaw is the best lefty in my opinion. He has been the best righty. He's just so good. He's so cerebral. He can read swings. And oh yeah, by the way, he has elite stuff to back it up, so he can pick you apart individually as a hitter.
He could also hit back in the day when he was alive.
That's true. I heard that.
He's one of those guys.
He's a shortstop.
Yes, I've heard he's one of those guys out that no matter what he picks up, he's good at it.
Yeah.
He's one of those.
Well, as they say,
just like you, Al.
Athletes, right on. But I was thinking more like Shane Bieber, Josh Tomlin. I mean, those guys in college too were great.
Let's go with Al. Let's go. You just ride it out, Al.
I was trying to tee you up right there, man.
You were. I almost felt guilty taking the compliment.
You know, speaking of compliments, you're talking about DeLauder and just what he was doing during the time he was down. And we've watched Donhell and Jose got his stitches out today. These are the guys in the background that we don't see all the time. I've done a wonderful job helping these guys stay ready.
Yeah, they certainly have. Meanwhile, Cooper Ingle is down on strikes. Second strikeout victim for DeGrom, but Kyle Manzardo got DeGrom here in the first inning. 2-run homer to right center. It's 2-0 Cleveland. 2-0 Guardians as we head to the second inning. A couple of smart fans there. They had fans in front of them. One was the mechanical variety. The other, look at a lot of fans here tonight.
Fantastic idea. Great night for that. You hope your batteries don't run out.
Yeah, that too, for sure. It is a hot one. 90 degrees at first pitch. They're expecting a high of 98 tomorrow, potentially downtown.
That will be steamy.
Duran to lead it off in the second inning for Texas. Takes strike one from Tanner Bybee. You'll see Duran, Carter, and Osuna. Hitters 5, 6, and 7 in the Rangers order. That one fouled off to the right side, 0-2. We talked about Tanner Bybee and his curveball in the first inning. Going into today, he's thrown it only 10% of the time. He's mainly cutter, four-seamer, sinker, but he'll mix up his pitches a pretty equal amount among the main 5 that he's throwing right now.
He does a great job of continuing to mix. I think a lot of that depends on what feels great that day in particular. But you don't, as a pitcher, you never want to get stuck getting into a pattern, certain pitch in a certain situation or a certain count. Trying to keep these guys guessing is extremely important.
2-2 now to Duran. By the way, we just got a note that Corey Seager, who was in the starting lineup, a late scratch, has got back discomfort.
Makes sense.
So that's why he's out tonight. Meanwhile, it's now 3-2 to Ezekiel Duran.
That's something that's given him fits in the past. And again, you think about the amount of torque and swings and work that these guys do on their bodies every day. It's again probably better to be smart.
The ground is second. Bazzana has been busy early. One out here in the second inning. Let's pause for a message now from the Cleveland Clinic.
When you make complexities your specialties, you redefine what's possible. For every care in the world, Cleveland Clinic.
So one away for Tanner Bybee. He'll face Evan Carter, Texas's center fielder. Batting only 182 this year. So he fouls that one off. In his last 7 games, he's 6 for 19, a 316 mark. So he's coming out of it a little bit. As a kid when he came up, so much potential. Still may reach it.
No doubt. And speaking of back issues, that's been something that's plagued him throughout his career so far. He made his debut as a rookie in 23 and was just an electric part of this World Series winning Texas Ranger team. But ever since then, he's really been dealing with back injuries, among other ailments.
By the way, a final note on Seager. He was on the lineup card, so he is officially out of today's game.
So they're playing a man short.
Yeah, you talk about Carter and his injuries. The guy, between him and Langford, who just went on the IL yesterday, those are the 2 young outfielders, guys, that they thought were going to kind of be their future. And they can't keep either one of them healthy. And Langford's finally kind of coming into his own this year.
Good pitch. Check swing. He went too far. 1-2.
You don't wonder if some of that isn't the fact that they're playing on turf now.
Turf down there, yeah. Well, you get to choose. You get
down
turf,
at Tampa,
you get turf, or you get to be at 105 degrees.
Well, that's I know what you and I would choose.
Swing and a miss. Tanner Bybee gets his first strikeout. 2 away here in the second inning.
Well, we talked about mixing your pitches up. This changeup might give Carter nightmares. This was perfectly executed right off the 2-seam fastball. Just did a great job of keeping a hand on top and on the inside part of that ball and really driving it down to the outside corner of the plate.
There's Alejandro Osuna, the left fielder. That's with 2 outs and nobody on here in the second inning. Takes a strike from Tanner. That 4-seam fastball at 93. He throws the cutter 26% of the time, the 4-seamer 23%, the sinker 22%, then the change 16%, and the curve 10%. So really, you've got to cover for 5 pitches right now, and Tanner Bybee's throwing all 5 pretty well.
That's usually grounds for it's going to be a tough day at the plate, boys. when you have a pitcher that can execute at that rate, hitting's hard enough as it is. You know, now when you got a guy that can throw every one of his pitches for strikes, good
if you're
luck.
facing him, Chris, I mean, what do you do? Do you try to guess? Do you try to eliminate pitches? Do you try to go certain quadrants?
You certainly have to take a little bit of all three of those. I was a guess hitter as it was, probably why my career average wasn't as high as some of these other guys. But
now it would be great.
It would be great now.
Compared to what's happening
I played
now.
in the wrong era. I played in the wrong era.
You did.
No, I just think you gotta eliminate halves of the plate, and that the count dictates that. You know, it could change mid at bat or count to count, how the count changes depending.
There's the 0-2, and that's up high for a ball.
But I think so often we get in trouble as hitters because we look for what we want to get to hit as opposed to what we're going to get to hit. And there is a significant difference with that.
Weak grounder to short.
Gotta go.
Schneemann on the run. Not in time. Boy, Osuna got down the line in a hurry for the infield single.
This ball was not hit hard at all. Cue ball off the end of the bat, had a little bit of English on it. You can see him out in front. Not much Daniel Schneemann can do just based off of where he played. He got rid of that ball quickly. But Osuna being a left-handed bat, a little shorter distance there to first base, and you can see him busting it down the line.
Exit velo of 59, showing you that you don't necessarily need a big exit velo to get a hit when you
I
can
say
run.
it all the time. It's not how hard you hit it, it's where you hit it. And that was perfectly placed.
It's a fly ball to right for Diaz, the catcher. Should be an easy one for Watson. Side retired here in the top of the second, so the Osuna infield single does no damage. Heading to the bottom half, inning number 2. It's 2-0 Cleveland.
Friday, and fans can enjoy Sugardale Dollar Dogs, a $2 Miller Lite pregame, and fireworks presented by Wayside Furniture. Plus 10,000 fans will receive a t-shirt thanks to Phantom Fireworks. Get your tickets today at CLEGuardians.com.
Daniel Schneemann will lead it off for Cleveland here in the bottom of the second inning. He'll be followed by Arias and Bailey. A hard swing and a miss there on that sinker at 98 for strike one. It's tough enough to face 98 when it's straight. And with DeGrom and the movement he's got on that pitch, not easy at all. But Schneemann finds the hole on the right side of the infield for a line drive to right. And he leads off the second with the single for the Guards.
Well, that's great to see. Daniel Schneemann got himself a fastball. You can see this is a four-seamer in the heart of the plate. Again, trying to go up above. That's twice now DeGrom's been burned by not quite getting the ball to the level he wants to. But again, great swing there out of Daniel Schneemann, who's starting to pick it up a little bit. And boy, is that a good sign.
It certainly is. Gabriel Arias homered last night. Runner aboard and nobody out here in the second inning. He hits that one high in the air to right, heading toward the seats, and it'll make it out of play for strike one. And Arias, as usual in his career, a reverse splits guy. Against lefties this year, he's batting only 150, but 250 against righties. And all three of his homers have come off right-handers as well.
Well, when Gabby Arias is going right, most right-handers are trying to attack you down and away as a right-handed hitter, and that's his lane right there.
Right field, Duran will make the catch in front of the warning track. Hit well, but right at Duran for the first out. Let's pause for a moment now for a message from Bet365.
Did you win?
Let's just say the next round of omelets is on me, fellas.
Bet $10, get $200 in bonus bets.
Here's Patrick Bailey. Switch hitting catcher. He hits here with one out and a runner at first. Swing and a miss there.
Good slider down at the bottom part of the strike zone. You can see too now, with this 640 start and the sun being so high in summer, the shadows are starting to set in. Just look at Patrick Bailey's face there. Face is in the sun, the rest of his body in the shadows, as if hitting wasn't hard enough already.
Schneemann dancing away at first. Didn't have a big lead as Bailey checks his swing, but it's strike two. This sun is playing games with the runner at first, the batter. Advantage to the pitcher here. Chris, how much of an advantage is that with the shadows? There's a lot of talk about it. How much does it affect it?
It's massive. You cannot. I had a really hard time picking up depth. Depth perception for me in the shadows is really difficult. As a catcher as well. And
sure.
I was never a guy that could wear sunglasses. I had a hard time seeing. I could catch with them, but I could not hit. And depth perception to me, seeing that spin and realizing how deep that spin was actually going to be was really difficult.
1-2 coming to Bailey. Fouls that one off. You know, it would seem against a guy like DeGrom, who's so good with that fastball slider and can tunnel, that picking up the spin on that slider tonight at this moment of the night would be nearly impossible until it's right on top of it.
I always had a very difficult time when the pitcher is very bright like you see there. It's dark at the plate and dark in the batter's eye. Like that's what really gave me fits.
On the ground is short. Second for one. Out in time to first as Bailey got down the line to avoid the double play. Schneemann erased at second base for the second out. And Bailey's aboard on the fielder's choice.
Well, Schneemann was on the run there, and I thought they may just try to take that out at first base.
It's odd.
Give the middle infield credit.
It's odd how they line up, though. They line the shortstop so far up the middle. The third baseman is almost next to him, and he had to wait for the second baseman to get there because of how they line up.
Yeah.
You see what and they're showing it perfectly right there. Lopez is basically in the middle. Now Young right now is at the cut of the grass, but after 2 strikes, he'll go to where the shortstop usually is at.
Well, we talked about this last series. The third base was playing Stephen Kwan right there.
Kwan hits that one hard, but right at the center fielder. Carter is there, and he records the final out here in this second inning. So the Guards get a hit. Nothing across. Still 2-0 Cleveland after 2.
Played at BP Live on Saturday, July 11th. Take batting practice on the field, shag fly balls, play catch in the outfield, and tour the visitors clubhouse. Space is limited. Visit events.cleguardians.com to register today.
Nicky Lopez will lead it off for Texas here in the third inning. The number 9 hitter who's been on a bit of a tear lately. He's on a 6-game hitting streak. He takes ball 1 from Tanner Bybee. So Tanner now first time through 7 of 9 first pitch strikes. Jacob DeGrom 8 of 9 first pitch strikes. So when you're pitching well, a lot of times you'll see that, and getting ahead of the batter so important. Now 1-1, but and Chris, you know, as a hitter, getting in the hole 0-1s completely changes an at bat.
It certainly does, and it changes it from the pitching and catching side of things too. You know, you're taught to get ahead, then you can expand the strike zone from there, and that's something our starters are so good at.
And there's another base hit by Lopez, who I said has been on a tear, and it continues. So he's aboard. Nobody out here in the third inning.
Well, this is a fastball that just kind of stayed down and in. Give Nicky Lopez a little bit of credit. Like Al said, he's been swinging a hot bat lately. Didn't try to do too much. Just a nice, easy swing there for the leadoff man on here in the top of the third.
Back to the top of the order, and Jock Peterson popped out to the shortstop his first time up. Gets that one high in the air to left center. That one carrying pretty well. That one is gone. And we are tied just like that at 2. On a warm night in Cleveland, the ball is carrying, and Jock Peterson evens it up with his 5th home run in his last 6 games.
Well, this is a breaking ball that stayed up in the strike zone, and it certainly looked like that's the plan of attack out of Jock the second time through. See the soft stuff up. He got through this baseball in a hurry. Little backdoor breaking ball, and again on a warm night like tonight, you can see Jock get through that ball. Power is his game.
That was on the outside corner too. Not necessarily a terrible location, just Peterson looking out there and taking advantage. Josh Young takes ball 1. So 2-2 game. 2-run homer by Manzardo in the first for Cleveland, and now a 2-run homer here for Jock Peterson in the third. Let's take a look at our Hyundai in the driver's seat. Josh Young, you see there, the leader with multi-hit games in the American League. Nimmo, who's out again tonight for Texas, third, and there's one to center field. Kwan coming on and makes the running catch. First out here in the third inning.
Well, just because His glove is golden left. Does not mean it's not going to be in center field either. Look at the break on this ball. Fantastic job there of reading not only how hard that ball was hit, but the height of it. Look at Stephen Kwan keep his eyes behind that glove. Watch the ball into it. Fantastic job there on a great break.
He certainly was on that one. As Cawley bats here. Joining us late. He came in for Corey Seager, who was on the original lineup card that was handed to the umpires. Late scratch with a stiff back. So he's out of the game, and Cawley replaces him at third in the order, playing second base. 2-0 to the Ranger rookie. And his first major league hit last night, a triple, and scored his first major league run. Time at Texas ahead 3-2 when he scored it. Now he's ahead in the count here, 3-0.
Well, this inning in particular, Tanner looks like he's not staying behind himself on the rubber, getting a little underneath some stuff. That was a better lane right there, in the sense of him trying to drive that ball down to the bottom part of the strike zone.
Well, that one 93 right at the knees.
Good one there as well.
Yep. Probably looking for the walk, but instead he'll have to stay put as the count runs full.
Well, you can see this delivery. Look at him get on top of that baseball, come down the hill. See if he can repeat here.
Payoff pitch. Right there. Strike three called, and Cawley thought about tapping the helmet, but did not. Out number 2 here in the third inning. Second strikeout for Bybee.
Well, that was an outstanding job there by Tanner Bybee. Great job, too. Look at Patrick Bailey going below that baseball all the way to the top, up through it.
That one did appear to be just an inch low, but on 2 strikes,
just a
tough
hair.
to take. Yeah.
Too close to take.
Here's Jake Berger. Popped out to second his first time up. Here in the third inning, grounds out to short to end the inning. However, Texas gets 2 on the Jock Peterson 2-run homer. We're even at 2, middle of the third. Cleveland Guardians baseball brought to you by Blue Moon. Now available in Blue Moon Light and Blue Moon non-alcoholic. And Umps Care Charity is the official philanthropy of the MLB umpires, celebrating its 20th anniversary. They did Build-A-Bear at the Cleveland Clinic Children's today. They delivered 100 Build-A-Bear furry friends, also brought 100 Build-A-Bear workshop outfits, goodie bags. Great to see the umpires taking part in the Cleveland community.
No doubt. That is really neat.
Absolutely.
See, they're not all bad, Al.
Not all of them.
You know?
Most of them are pretty good.
Eric Bacchus was just over here thanking the photographers for coming. Said he loves coming to Cleveland, and he's at third base right now. And I told him, don't come over here. And he goes, no, 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 no. This is what we did today. And I go, okay, you're welcome back next time, Eric.
Absolutely.
No, they're a good group at Laz as well.
Yeah. Yeah, good group we have here on this series. As Travis Bazzana takes that 2-0 pitch for a strike. He popped out his first time up. Actually, I should correct myself. He lined out to the second baseman. Swing and a miss there.
The last inning, you were talking about just dealing with picking up spin and not picking up spin with the sun and everything else. And we heard Khalil Watson talk about when we were inside in Milwaukee out. He said he couldn't pick up the spin. He didn't want to be outside. It's amazing, though, when the more players you talk to, how many different places it's tough to pick up spin. And in Milwaukee, when they open it up, they only open it up halfway when they do it.
So it looks like this, right?
Yes, it looks like this the whole game because hitters complained for so long about that when they opened it up.
Yeah, that's a good point. As Bazzana hits that one fair, he'll be retired by Berger, who steps on first. So Cleveland got a couple of runs in the first inning thanks to a 2-run homer by Manzardo, but Chase DeLauder got it started with this double.
Fantastic job on a backdoor little slider. Stayed at the right height. He didn't try to do too much. And you let the big man come up and do what he does. This is a fastball at the top part of the strike zone. Great swing out of Kyle Manzardo and both Chase DeLauder.
Chase now on a 9-game hitting streak after that first inning double. Trying to go there again to left field. Going back is Osuna near the wall and makes the catch as that ball was carrying. Chase DeLauder now going oppo field twice, got the double and hit that one pretty well there.
He certainly did. I wonder if he may have just got it just a hair off the end of the bat. This is a fastball down and away. Looked like he got it pretty good right out of the gate.
I'm amazed how he fills the batter's box up and can get to that away pitch. We saw him at Seattle with a high heater like that.
Yeah.
He let it deep and drove it out of the ballpark.
Well, he has certainly shown a willingness throughout his minor league career too to go that other way. And Zardo, that 2-run homer, takes strike one. But you're showing that you'll go the other way. That's another thing to put into the pitcher's head, that man, if I go away to this guy, he's not afraid to go to left center.
Well, that's how you buy yourself pitches on the inner half of the plate, which is where you want to slug anyway. If you prove to the opposing staff that you're going to utilize that outer third of the plate, they have nowhere else to throw you but start to challenge you on the inner third, and that's again where all your slug comes from.
Right. Kyle Manzardo down 0-2 in the count here. Checks a swing and not in time, says Eric Bacchus. So a strikeout for DeGrom. That's his third, and the guards go in order. We head to the fourth, tied at 2 in Cleveland. 2-2 game here in the fourth inning alongside Chris Jimenez and Andre Knott. I'm Al Pulowski, Jim Murphy producing, Anthony Giassi directing here tonight. A hot night in Cleveland. It's 90 at first pitch. Still is 90 degrees. That ground ball is shortstop Daniel Schneemann. Throws out Ezekiel Duran. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the fourth inning.
Well, if you're Tanner, you absolutely love that. So many times you hear Carl Willis talk about 3-pitch or less mentality. That's how you're able to go deep in ball games.
And in case you're wondering, Brian Rocchio just a scheduled day off.
Right.
He's been playing a lot lately, so Stephen Vogt wanted to get him a day, so tonight's the night. Expected back in the starting lineup tomorrow as Evan Carter shows bunt and takes strike 1.
Probably a good day, with the heat as well, and just full well knowing tomorrow is going to be a scorcher as well. Not trying to burn these guys out.
Carter a strikeout victim his first time up. Takes strike 2. 0-2 to Evan Carter. Alejandro Osuna on deck.
As you guys talk about the heat, do you guys go with the real feel nowadays? Because that's what the kids tell me. The kids go, "Well, Dad, it's real." The real feel says, because the real field says it's 99 down here right now, boys.
Wow.
Just think if it was
99 right here too.
Well, tomorrow we got to see if we can get cutoff jerseys to put on here.
Oh, I like that.
And shorts.
I'll wear one.
I know.
Sign me up.
You won't wear a shirt if we let you.
That is true.
That's not okay.
Says who?
That one go off the batter. It did.
I think it hit the foot of Carter, maybe.
Yeah. That'll stay 0-2. Well, and Andre, they said right now the new forecast expecting a high of 98 tomorrow.
Oh, and that's not the real feel, huh?
No, but Carter's feeling it right now.
He is
off
on that
his
right
foot.
Debating about what I'm going to wear tomorrow now.
I mean, shorts are in play, if you ask me.
I think so. Again, the 0-2 pitch.
Good pitch.
That one.
Just a hair low, but boy, that is an outstanding pitch. Pitcher's pitch. Nice changeup. Look at the fade on that ball. Again, give Patrick Bailey credit. Working from low to high.
Fouls that sinker off, so now Carter putting up a decent battle here against Bybee, trying to hang in there. Tanner's thrown 47 pitches, 33 of those for strikes. Here's a look at the fans. So whatever the attendance number is, multiply that by 2 to get the number of fans. Meanwhile, line drive to right, and it's Jaden Watson who had to leap up to make the catch. He looked like he struggled a bit to catch that one off the bat.
No doubt. That ball was backspun with the best of them, too.
He was in the perfect position.
He was. Perfect position. And again, this ball was hit pretty well. No harm, no foul.
Yeah. Looked like he was going up for a rebound, cleaning off the glass there. So 2 outs, and Evan Carter Now has been struggling a bit with the batting average. Hits that ball on the absolute nose and still can't buy a hit. So here's Osuna. Had the infield single in the second inning. Breaks his bat. It's 1 to second. Bazzana. Sides retired. 3 up, 3 down for Tanner Bybee and the Guards here in the 4th inning. We go to the bottom half. Still tied at 2. 6 in a row retired for Jacob deGrom. You'll see the middle of the Guards batting order here in the bottom of the 4th. Watson, Engel, and Schneemann. Watson struck out his first time up back in the 1st inning. And he takes strike 1 from deGrom. That 4-seam fastball. So that first pitch strike, it's been key for deGrom tonight. Continues here against Watson.
Well, that was a low dart right there. Look at him try to just work right off that same angle.
He's painting the corner too. That one just it's barely got the bottom of the zone.
Yeah, I mean, he is so unbelievably good.
Finally missed. 1 and 2. Jacob deGrom with a solid month of June. He's only had 1 bad outing really in the last 5, and that was a game that Rangers still ended up winning. He gave up 6 runs against San Diego in 6 innings, but other than that, you'd have to go all the way back to May 22nd before he gave up more than 2 runs. It's been 2 runs or less since late May, and here we are almost in July. 2-2 to Watson as he's worked his way back into the count.
You take games like that against deGrom when you can get them, because they don't come very often.
Fouls that one off. And the other aspect of this is too, you want to work the count on him, but it becomes a bit of a challenge in this way. Sometimes that first pitch he throws you could very well be the only strike you see, or the only good strike you see.
No doubt. Or the only hittable strike you
exactly. Watson to first base. Easy play for Berger for the first out here in the 4th inning. Let's take a look at our Elk and Elk injury reports. Jeremy Pena is placed on the IL by Houston. That left calf injury, that's his 2nd stint this season, and you see his numbers. He's been a pretty good one by the Astros. They trail the Rangers now by 2 games in the American League West.
He was a part of them getting back and winning some games too, and you always hate when you hurt one leg. Sometimes you favor the other one, and now he's dealing with the other leg. That is not good news for the Astros and their offense.
Calves are tough too. Those are tricky. They don't want to go away. You got to be really, really careful with those.
Another big shortstop, taller shortstop.
Yeah, on the turf.
Yep.
Cooper Engel struck out his first time up and is down 0-2 here to deGrom. You know what else is interesting? We were talking about the Astros being 2 back. Cleveland has faced the first place team in the West in back-to-back series. With Seattle this weekend, Andre, and now it's Houston who's in, or rather Texas who's in first place. Engel checks.
Wow.
And he did not check.
Well, he didn't get a teddy bear.
Let's take a look at it.
Man. Ouch. I think you could make the argument.
Yeah, certainly did.
I think you could make the argument for either there.
4th strikeout for deGrom. You know, they got a check swing cam in minor league baseball they're experimenting with. Yeah.
Chris will tell you.
I do believe it is. Yeah.
All right, last time we saw Schnee get on top of a heater. That pitch that he struggled with, we saw Manzardo hit one out. Then he came down with low ones the next time. And Schnee gets that nasty slider to start. I was just going to say, Chris, he probably won't get one up this at bat.
No, not at least first pitch. You know, I think you got to get his eyes down below, and then you can gas him up top. Great changeup off of a perfectly placed breaking ball.
Yeah.
You know, this would be the count that if you want to take your opportunity to go up with a fastball, you're in an advantage count. You change an eye level, or you stay down below and just try to execute at the bottom part of the plate.
Schneemann checks his swing. Hey, that time it was not a swing.
Thankfully, he didn't tap his hat. Saw that happen yesterday. Wilson Contreras got thrown out of the game for it on the Red Sox.
Yes, he did.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, you can't challenge that yet. Schneemann staying alive. Schnee with a single his first time up to right field. 1-2 the count here from Jacob deGrom, who's certainly commanding it well Two-run homer by Manzardo in the first. Since then, Jacob deGrom is putting those sliders, fastballs, and changeups exactly where he wants them. And a swing and a miss. Fifth strikeout for deGrom. Guardians once again go in order here in the fourth inning. We'll head to the fifth. Still tied at 2 in Cleveland. Back here in Cleveland, top of the fifth. There's some of the fans enjoying the heat in the ball game tonight. 2-2 Rangers and Guardians, game 2 in this 3-game series. And we are joined now by former Cleveland Indian and former Chris Jimenez
Got my
teammate,
roommate
Matt Laporta.
That's right.
Man, it's great to see you again. Welcome back.
Great to be back. It's been a while since I've been here, and it doesn't disappoint.
No, it certainly doesn't. And you brought the weather from Florida
thanks
with you.
for that, by the way.
I did.
Hitters, thank you, actually.
I stepped off the plane today, and I was like, good Lord, it's hot.
Certainly is. Elias Diaz leading it off for the Rangers. 2-0 now from Tanner Bybee. So, Matt, it's been a little bit since you played on this field here, but you know, some of your best memories from being here and playing with guys like Chris Jimenez.
Yeah, it was a great experience. I mean, you know, some of the memories that I had. Got to hit a walk-off home run against the Minnesota Twins.
Yep.
That was pretty memorable. And then I think I had like another walk-off hit against the Royals, base hit up the middle. You know, those are always the fun ones. You know, where the team just rallies around you, and it's great.
You know, you mentioned the Royals one. I think we have that now. We can take a look at it, and you know, these moments, those are the games that you remember really for the rest of your life, aren't they?
That's right. They are.
Here's Nicky Lopez. He had a base hit his first time up. So this is from 2011. A home run off of Soria. That's to win the game.
That'll work.
That'll definitely work. No doubt.
0-2 now to Nicky Lopez.
So I saw you throw the first pitch, and Masterson, I completely understand him throwing 97 because he still looks like he could do it.
Yeah.
I expected a little bit more out of you, though.
I threw a strike.
You did throw a strike. You hit your cutoff, man. That's all that matters.
So I didn't realize I was going to throw out the first pitch today.
Oh.
And they told me when I got here, and I was like, they were like, you didn't read the itinerary? I was like, yeah, it says first pitch, 6:30. And I'm thinking the first pitch of the regular game. Yeah, sure. They're like, no, you're throwing out the first pitch. And I told my wife, I texted her, and she goes, well, your son's going to call you, give you a pep talk. So he calls. I answer it. I said, what's up, Maddox? He goes, you know, don't sell, Dad. Just
Don't
throw
sell.
a strike.
You
All
did.
right, all right.
You accomplished
That's a strike.
You accomplished it.
You listen to Maddox. Yeah, good advice there.
Yeah, that's it.
Now, was Maddox a pitcher?
I also recommend listening to your wife.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Maddox is not a pitcher. Maddox is like a center field, second base.
Okay. He still had good advice on that first
Yeah.
pitch. Meanwhile, here's Jock Peterson, who tied the game at 2 with a 2-run homer in the third. It's with 2 outs and nobody on here in the 5th inning. Well, you got to play a couple different places. So, first baseman by trade coming up with Milwaukee, and then played left field here. What was that adjustment like with that wall in left? It's a little bit different here, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's funny, you know, in college I played first base, and then the Brewers actually drafted me as a outfielder.
Now hold that story, Matt, because the inning's over. But we want you to stick around.
Okay.
And we're going to get it on
You
the
can't
back
go
end.
anywhere.
I won't go nowhere.
Bottom of the 5th coming up, tied at 2 in Cleveland. Of the Cleveland order here in the bottom of the 5th, Arias, Bailey, and Kwan. With Arias leading off, who the ball well, but was out. Fly ball to right his first time up. Takes strike 1 from Jacob deGrom. All right, Matt, so before the break, we were talking about making that conversion from first base to left field.
Yeah, so, you know, in college, I came up, my freshman year of college, I was a catcher. Then I moved to first base after that. And, you know, it's my senior year now. The Brewers call, hey, can you come do a workout for left field? I'm like, left field? I've never played left field in my life.
Right.
So to go do the workout, obviously, I did well enough to be picked high. And so I went with them, and they actually moved me to right field in Double-A. And then when I got traded, I went back to left field for half a season, and then back to my home at first base.
Right. So you kind of got moved around a lot.
Yeah. I think at the time it was, you know, hey, he can hit. Let's just put him somewhere.
Find a spot for him.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's the old adage, you can hit, they're going to find a spot for you.
That's right. That's what I tell my kids. I'm like, don't worry about all the others. Just hit.
Which did you like the best, outfield or first base?
I love playing left field. Left field was great. Like I felt like I always could read the ball really well. Like, you know, I played tight end and stuff in high school.
Right.
So I just felt like I'd read the ball well.
Ari is the 6th strikeout victim for Jacob deGrom. He struck out 3 in a row. Here's Bailey. So we were talking about great memories. Do you remember your first hit in the major leagues?
I do.
Remember what that was?
It was a home run.
It was.
I can't forget that.
Yeah, that's true.
It comes after the demoralizing day that I had against Verlander the day before.
Sometimes that happens. But you know who else shares that distinction with you?
Yeah.
The guy sitting next
That's
to you.
right.
That's right.
Who did it in Minnesota. For his first hit was also a home run.
That's right. Who did you hit yours off?
I got mine off Scott Baker.
Okay. Mine was off Brian Talent.
That's right.
Little lefty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Former Cleveland Indian.
Yeah.
Oh, was he? Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Oh,
Doesn't matter though, does it? You know, homer.
It's in the books.
Amen to that.
All right, so here it is, Matt. We found it for you.
Oh, there you go.
Uh-oh. Look at that compact swing.
Yeah.
Look at Louis.
Got the ball for you?
Yeah. I got it up in my office.
That's
Nice.
awesome. I was there for that.
Yeah, you were.
I was happy about that.
Bailey on the ground to second. Cawley retires him. Second out here in the 5th inning. All right, so speaking of guys that hit home runs for their first major league hit, here's the last 4 in club history. 2 recent.
Oh, wow.
2 not so recent, but you guys
Yeah.
were roommates in Columbus, so it
That's
kind of
right, yeah.
was like a thing.
It was.
God, look at how young we were. There's a lot less gray in our.
I still look young.
You do.
Yeah,
I don't.
except for my gray hair.
It's back when Chris did have hair. You
No,
can't
I
see what
didn't
that
then
happened.
either,
It was- There's a
unfortunately.
little bit under there.
He was still shaving it then.
I was. It was long gone before then.
2 away here in the 5th inning. Stephen Kwan, the batter. 11 in a row set down by Jacob deGrom. Now 2-0 to Stephen Kwan.
What do you got on the ABS? Would you have liked it?
I don't know if I would have liked it. I've always been a big believer, and I enjoy the game playing pure.
Sure.
And, you know, umpires are going to make mistakes, and that's just part of the game. I think, again, it's just not a perfect game, and I don't like it. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I do understand it's probably needed in the game. I know even having any replay is great for the game. I mean, we remember the perfect game that Galarraga threw.
That's right.
Yeah.
Or almost threw.
Right. Jason Donald was even put his hands on his head when he was called safe at first base. He was even like, oh, I'm safe.
Yeah.
Kwan going to try to beat this one out, but Berger gets there first. And once again, the Guardians go 3 up, 3 down. Matt, thanks for joining us. Really appreciate
thanks for having me. This is great.
You bet. There he is, Matt Laporta, joining us here tonight.
My time is done.
5 innings
Just like
in the
my
books.
career. It went like that.
Yeah.
Top of the 6th here in Cleveland. Fast-moving game with the way deGrom and Bibee are going. It'll be Young, Cawley, and Berger. Hitters 2, 3, and 4 for the Rangers. On a hot night in Cleveland. 90 degrees at first pitch. Still 90.
I don't think it's
Bibee.
cooled down much.
No, it hasn't. It's just kind of sitting there.
Stagnant, if you will.
Slight breeze blowing out to right center, but very slight. We're not feeling any of it. It's sweeper just off the plate for a ball. So 1-0 to Josh Young. Singled his first time up. Flew out to center back in the 3rd inning. That one on the outside corner for a strike.
Tanner may have gotten away with one right there. Chalk one up for Patty Bailey behind the plate.
Yeah, good framer.
No doubt.
Went a little high, 2-1. You know, even with ABS, people said, well, the framing now is going to become, you know, a not so important feature. I disagree. If you only got 2 challenges, you got a lot ones like that where the batter now afraid to challenge. I mean,
Well,
Hedgie's very good at framing.
For sure. We have 2 in the best in baseball, 2 of the best, if not the 2 best.
Yeah.
At receiving and framing and all of the metrics that go along with that. These guys are unbelievable at what they do, how they can manipulate a baseball. I mean, again, your job back there is to kind of trick the umpire, so to speak, into thinking that was a strike. And these guys have such incredible, quick moves behind the plate, but really strong hands and wrists, and can be able to manipulate the ball into making the umpire kind of think, yeah, that might have been a strike.
Sure. 2-2 coming to Josh Young. The ground is short. Schneemann. One away here in the 6th inning for Texas. Let's pause for a moment and a word from Levin Furniture and Mattress.
Sink into unbeatable comfort with Lazy Boy recliners, starting at just $395. For an incredible selection of Lazy Boy, shop Levin.
One down for Cam Cauley. Popped out his first time up. Struck out in the 3rd inning. Cam Cauley playing in his 2nd major league game here tonight. A late add, or actually a late replacement officially. Corey Seager was on the lineup card when they were exchanged at home plate, but he was scratched with a sore back. Cauley replaced him. Meanwhile, he gets a grounder to 3rd, and Arias with that quick trigger on that low delivery, but he's got a cannon, whether it's coming from up top or submarine.
Well, that's a shortstop arm right there.
Set it down to Andre Knott.
As Jake Berger comes to the plate, he wears number 21 in honor of his daughter Penelope, who was born with Down syndrome. And today they went over to the hospital, and you can see Jake with a couple people. Stephen Vogt went over. David Fry went to hang out with them as well. Really cool moment, but they were hanging out. How many times do you see guys from both teams come out to celebrate and be with each other? But Berger wears that number 21 because his daughter Penelope was born with Down syndrome. It's an extra chromosome, which equals 21. She underwent open heart surgery last spring training. Berger came right back and hit a home run the day he returned after that surgery. So something that's big to him, and he tries to do that in every city he goes into, and just wanted to make sure that everybody heard about that because it was a great story and great to see him do that.
Yeah, it certainly is, Andre, and great to see Jake Berger taking part with some other Guardians. You saw David Fry, Stephen Vogt there too. I understand how much it's a part of the community that you play ball in, but it's also a part of all the communities in Major League Baseball.
It's being a good human, and I love good human beings. He's one of the best. I remember last spring training when he had to leave for that surgery for his daughter, and things were very bleak there for a minute, but thankfully she came out of it okay, and he was able to return back, and it was a rough year for Jake Berger last year too.
It's the 2-1 pitch in the air to right. Watson drifting back. He'll have room. Rangers go 3 up, 3 down as DeGrom and Bybee have settled in nicely here in Cleveland. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Still tied at 2. Bottom of the 6th inning here in Cleveland is sponsored by your Northeast Ohio Ram dealers. We'll see the top of the order for Cleveland. Bazzana takes strike 1 from Jacob DeGrom, who is on a roll. 12 in a row for the right-hander. Cleveland with 2 runs on 4 hits tonight. The 2-run homer by Kyle Manzardo. Well, that one called a strike. And Texas with 2 runs on 3 hits. The 2-run homer by Jock Peterson.
Well, so often we see with veteran starters, if you don't get them early and give these guys an opportunity to settle in.
And there is a 3-pitch strikeout to Travis Bazzana. 7th strikeout of the night for Jacob DeGrom.
Well, after he went curveball for a strike, changeup for a strike, he went velocity at the top part of the zone at the letters, and that is an extremely difficult pitch to get on top of, especially when your eyes are down and out over the plate.
There's 1 out here in the 6th, and this is only a 70th pitch, and Chase DeLauder takes the swing he didn't want to take for strike 1.
DeLauder's been locked in so far.
Yeah, but that's okay. That swinging and missing in that situation is not a bad idea, honestly. I mean, so many guys, when they get off balance, they try to manipulate their barrel into making contact. We've been taught, try to force contact at any point in time, but good hitters swing and miss on bad pitches.
Yep.
And what swinging and missing does in that situation is buys you more pitches to hit, as opposed to grounding out.
We were talking about DeGrom earlier in the game about being maybe the best of his generation from the right-hand side, and I asked Redbird to kind of put some numbers together for us. that back that up. And Redbird came through as he always does. When you look at the numbers, and you'll see them right here as they come up. When you look at those 13 seasons and you look at the numbers, when he gets 30 starts, there's nobody better in baseball. And really, I think with how things have changed in baseball, guys, he will be the guy that you go off of for this generation of what's a Hall of Fame pitcher.
I have to
You know
absolutely
what I mean?
agree with you on that. I think the way we think about what a Hall of Famer is, now at least from a pitching
Right.
standpoint, has to change.
It used to be, what, 300 wins, and
Right.
that's not going to happen anymore. Or
No.
a certain amount of innings.
That went on the ground to second. Rushing in is Hawley to make the play. 2 outs.
But when you look at all the numbers he's put together, and I think anyone that's faced him in the last 10 years, they'll tell you when he's healthy, there's no one better from the right-hand side.
Yeah, you face him one time in the box and you turn around and say, that's what a Hall of Famer looks like.
Exactly. And he's kind of done it quietly. I don't know how to.
Very
you
much
know what
so.
I mean? I don't know if he was in New York.
You're spot on with that.
But if it's being a guy that was in New York when he was, you would just think that it would have been more talked about with him. I know he's won a couple Cy Youngs, but this is the first time he's ever pitched here in Cleveland.
It's crazy. And there's still one, ballpark he hasn't
That's
pitched
right.
in, which is nuts.
Minnesota, correct?
That's correct.
Yep.
So it must be they kept him away from the AL Central as long as possible.
Good. They knew what kind of offenses we have around here.
Here's the 1-0 to Manzardo. It's 2-0. He was the one to figure DeGrom out early in the first inning with the 2-run homer. And now DeGrom being a bit careful with him is, I don't know if he's going to see a fastball upper quadrant again.
I wouldn't be afraid to throw it there, honestly. Maybe not in a 2-0 count, but with how good he's been at the bottom part of the strike zone, like you just saw there with the breaking ball and the changeup combo.
That one was out of the zone. We called a strike.
Thank you.
Yep.
I was glad you were saying that because their guys keep asking Brian Renora, but no one's tapping their head yet,
Yeah.
which tells me it's kind of like what you guys are talking about with the catchers. Our catchers being so good. I think DeGrom's so good, no one wants to question it when it's called a strike.
That's probably a right decision as well.
That one is there with the slider, but it makes it even harder when you've got a guy like DeGrom who's commanding it so well, and he has elite command anyway, and now it seems especially so this evening. And if you get a couple inches off the plate, I mean, man, that one's up high, 3-2.
You just said that. That made me think of the 90s, Al, when you and I
That's
were growing
right.
up and we had our hair. Well, you always had it. Just think about the Braves and what they got away with because their pitchers were so good. And I know that strike zones were different, but you just hit on it. When you have great pitchers on the mound, they're going to get a couple extra inches but when they are around the plate.
That's the key.
How about Manzardo trying to punch one to left, but coming on and making the shin high catch is Osuna for the 3rd out. It's 15 in a row now by DeGrom. We'll head to the 7th, still tied at 2 in Cleveland. 7th inning here in Cleveland, game tied at 2. 2-run homers have been the difference. Manzardo for Cleveland, Peterson for Texas. How about DeGrom and Bybee pitching very well tonight?
They certainly are. You can see the pitch count there. Both of them are in a great spot. 16 out of 21 and 16 out of 22. You talk about getting ahead of hitters, bringing the fight to the hitter. 3 pitches or less. That's exactly what we've seen on both sides of the aisle tonight.
And it's strike 1 to Duran to lead off the 7th. Carter and Osuna will follow. Strike 2. So we talked about DeGrom retiring 15 in a row. Bybee has retired 12 straight. Both of these pitchers, DeGrom and Bybee, have had a hot month of June, and that continues here on the month's final day. One and 2 now. That curveball low. Ezekiel Duran 0 for 2. Ground out to second. And a ground out to short. 2-4-0 for Texas is the line. 2-3-0 for Cleveland. Not many left on base either. 2 for the Rangers, just 1 for the Guards. One off the plate, 2-2. Looper to right. That one will fall. Perfectly placed. And about the only way it seems lately either team's going to find a hit, something like that.
Well, I don't know if Ezekiel Duran could have thrown this ball any better. This is a good pitch, kind of boring in on him, that 2-seamer. And you can see he got just enough of it to get it over Kyle Manzardo's head, who gave a heck of an effort. Just out of the reach there of a half dive sort of
half pike. Is that what you're
there
looking
you go.
Something like
Maybe
that.
we'll go with that. That's it.
So Duran's aboard. Here's Carter, takes strike one. Struck out his first time up. Flew out to right the next time. He did show bunt his second time up, and with the way things are going tonight with these two pitchers, you have to consider a bunt as a possibility here. Arias is in on the infield grass.
That's exactly what I was just about to say, and you can see Tanner Bybee making sure Duran at least is aware that he is paying attention to him over there.
It's amazing to me, guys, to watch the Texas Rangers and see them play guards ball, because for so long they've always been a team full of big poppers.
Yeah.
But that new ballpark out and how they've gone about with management, they've kind of flipped how their organization works now. They're a great pitching organization now, good bullpen that we saw yesterday, and they kind of play for 1 run and not the 3-run homer anymore.
Funny enough, though, that new ballpark is now one of the hardest ballparks in Major League Baseball to hit.
It was always the opposite in Texas because of the
complete
heat.
opposite.
You're right.
Yeah.
That dome makes a difference. Maybe the great equalizer down there, because
It really is.
the original ballpark they played in was originally a AAA ballpark that they converted, and it was wide open and the ball just flew. And then the next one was too, Andre. You were there, Globe Life, and that one flew out of there quite a bit.
I liked hitting there.
There's a picture floating somewhere around where it was 116 and I was sweating. I'm okay with the dome, put it that way.
You also lost 16 pounds that day too.
Yes, that started my diet.
There you go.
Anytime I overate, I said, just send me down to Arlington.
Yeah,
I used to drink 200 ounces of fluids, water, Gatorade, before each game I played down there.
I figured you were talking afterwards, but
well, that was a different story.
And to catch in that too,
That's
Chris,
what I'm saying.
like you did when you were at the Rangers.
It was intense.
It's the 1-2 coming to Carter.
Duran might be taken off.
There he goes. You read it right. That ball hit to left. Slicing, though, and it'll go foul. And off the screen. We'll do it again. Pretty good jump as well by Duran.
He started inking a little bit over there. And as a catcher, that's one of those things that you kind of have one eye on the runner at first base. And
so what did you notice different there?
He started just creeping a little bit.
He was antsy.
His initial lead, yes, he was getting antsy, but his initial lead was bigger as well.
See what he does on this 1-2 pitch.
Get a pick over too.
Breaking ball is actually a changeup, a little high. 2-2. Carter hanging in there against Bybee. Duran at first. On the ground to first, Manzardo will step on first. Evan Carter thought it was a foul ball. It's ruled fair. It's as good as a bunt, as Duran's able to move up to second with 1 out.
Well, that was interesting.
Let's take a look at our All-State Good Hands replay. And how about Tanner Bybee tonight? His command has been fantastic.
Well, you do have good hands when you have this kind of stuff working every day, which is the entire month of June for Tanner. He's been fantastic. Tonight is no different. Painting the bottom of the strike zone, the corner of the strike zone. He's been pretty much in complete control this evening.
Here's Osuna. Takes inside for a ball. He has a hit tonight. A single back in the second inning. Grounded out in the fourth. And, you know, talking about Tanner Bybee, his chemistry, it seems now, with Patrick Bailey has
starting
really
to come along
excelled.
a little bit. Yeah. And again, it was going to take a little bit of time for Patrick Bailey to get to understand these guys both on and off the field.
It seems they're on the same page here in this month of June.
And the main thing that he's really told the starters, big with Slade and with Tanner, let's get it out in 3 pitches. And you see the pitchers getting deeper into games. I mean, Parker Messick yesterday was just filthy. Yep. He still had a couple pitches left in the tank.
He did. Well, us catchers don't want to sit back there in this heat all the time either.
But it changes the game, and you know
it
you
really
guys
does.
know that when you can get the fielders off the field, especially in the heat, you make it quick. It changes the tempo of the game. And, you know, Vogt laughs about it. He goes, but we want to win time of possession. I know we only talk about that in football, but it's a real thing in baseball as well.
And it keeps the hitters off balance as well.
It's a shot, but foul to right. And when you show as a pitcher,
you see that
that's a great catch.
With the sun in his eyes, too.
He learned that. He went to the Al Pulowski School of catching foul balls.
Right. You got to shade first with the glove and then make the catch. See it again.
Ooh, he's taking care. Look, my man in the red was worried. My man got a first base glove, I think.
The one guy out there with sunglasses is ducking
Right.
too. What in the world?
That is going to make plays of the week. Here's one to left. Cooper Ingle tracking. 2 outs.
Oh no.
Now what?
Well, that's a mistake that I promise you will not happen again from Cooper Ingle. And kind of unfortunate in a lot of different ways, but he thought there was 2 outs already, made the catch, threw the ball into the stands, and that is a 2-base error. And I saw it kind of happen. He starts running in, and everybody started screaming. And I promise you.
So that is the, as you said,
That's a tough
2-base
one.
error. That was only the second out of the inning.
Yep, that's a tough one. There's no 2 ways about it.
And that just gave Texas a 3-2 lead.
Jacob deGrom says thank you. But I guarantee this group will put their arms around him. When he gets in this dugout, he's going to feel about as small as he's probably ever felt in his life. But this group will do a fantastic job of, like I said, putting their arms around him and letting him know, hey, mistakes happen. That young man right there, JT McGuire, the best in the business. I'm sure we'll have a few things to say as well, but it's a mistake. There's no 2 ways about it. You got to admit it, you got to accept it, and you got to move on.
And unfortunately for Cooper, no place to hide. So 2 outs and nobody on for Diaz, who takes strike 1 from Tanner Bybee. So it's an unearned run. Take a look at it again here. He just realized it.
That's a tough spot. Trust me. I've been in situations where, thankfully for me as a catcher, I'm behind a mask and you feel like you're hiding behind something when you're standing out there like that. You're out in the open, and again, there are certain things that you will never make that mistake again. I can guarantee you. But that'll make you grow a little bit there as a man.
Diaz stays alive with that foul ball. So 0-2. Elias Diaz flew out back in the second inning, lined out in the 5th. And again, the 0-2 pitch coming from Tanner Bybee. Went up high at 94.
Well, Tanner now having to recollect his thoughts and get after it here. Is he still in an advantage count? Good pitch.
And on the outside corner. Oh, it's off the plate.
Tried that little ride back 2-seamer.
Yep.
It was just off. Great pitch.
Yep.
And you can see Patrick Bailey really bring this thing back to the heart of the plate.
Well, he framed it so well.
Good call there by Brian Onora.
That was the correct call.
Was out. Like a changeup right off that same plane right now. There it is.
The ground
sinker. That works.
He'll make the play to first base. So Diaz retired, but an unearned run puts Texas on top, 3-2. Guardians. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Guardians. Bottom of the 7th here in Cleveland. Cooper Ingle obviously upset that last inning where he threw the ball in the stands, and he went to Tanner Bybee and apologized. And Chris, as you said, those guys will pick him up. I mean, it's tough to make a mistake like that. And you know what? Everybody makes mistakes.
Everybody makes mistakes. And again, this group it's young in a lot of ways. But this young group has been around a lot too, and I think they understand everybody at some point in time in their baseball career, whether it's little league, high school, college, in the minor leagues, has done something where they realized as soon as they did it, I made a mistake. And again, that's why I said this group will rally around him. And you know, I mean, it's a mistake. That's all you can say about it. It is what it is. You can't take it back. You got to learn from it and move on.
So he'll bat next. Watson at the plate now. 1-2 count against DeGrom. A swing and a miss. As Jacob DeGrom just continues to mow him down. 16 in a row for Jacob DeGrom. 7 strikeouts. Make it 8.
Well, again, this is why he is the best right-handed pitcher of this generation. Is you can see him just picking apart each batter that walks up to the plate.
Well, here's Engel.
Well, there's no better way to make up for a mistake than find a way to drive in more than you let in.
Certainly has that ability. 12 homers at AAA Columbus.
You talk about trying to pump him up after that first pitch. The whole bench.
Back up the middle. Great stop by the shortstop. Lopez throws him out.
But the entire bench was cheering and letting him know that they had his back just on that first pitch. You know what that's like. Just letting him know that, hey, we know you made the mistake, but we're all here right behind you.
And that's what a team does, honestly. That's why I said this group will rally around.
David Fry was the first guy to top step when he came off. And he just put his arm around him, and each other guy did that. But I give David Fry a lot of credit. He wanted to be the first one to say, hey, it happens. Let's get over it, and let's go hit.
That's what leaders do.
2 outs for Schneemann. 1 for 2 tonight. Single and a strikeout. One of only 3 hits DeGrom has surrendered. $17 in a row set down by Jacob DeGrom. And this will be his 90th pitch. Texas did have Gray up in the bullpen. The way DeGrom's going, he might go out there again for the 8th.
Oh, their bullpen has been used to the max over the last 4 or 5 days, so you may be up to something.
So here's a look at DeGrom's pitches by inning. His most was the first when he surrendered that 2-run homer to Manzardo. After that, he hasn't thrown more than 15 an inning.
And again, that's what a veteran pitcher does. You get him early, he still has the ability to kind of settle himself in and give you 7 innings.
Yeah, it looks like on those last couple of pitches.
Overthrowing, maybe?
Maybe. And maybe he knows this is his
He's
last
a little
inning.
hot, too.
You could tell he's frustrated at how he threw that last one.
And you could tell, yeah, he just, to the pitch, he kind of paused for a minute. Schneemann fouls that one off. Jacob DeGrom has been masterful tonight. There's no question about it.
I just saw 27 balls thrown out of 95.
Yeah, I mean, he's hitting corners.
This dude is next level good.
Payoff pitch, line to right, base hit for Daniel Schneemann.
Same pitch he got
Second
earlier.
tonight, yep. So he's aboard with 2 outs here in the 7th inning.
Well, Schneemann was on this heater. This ball hard to the plate. Jacob DeGrom probably very thankful that that's all that happened to that pitch. Again, Daniel Schneemann starting to come around. Great sign.
Yep. And Schneemann is 4 for 6 on stolen bases. Arias at the plate, 0 for 2 with the fly out and strikeout. One taken for a strike. Slider. So last night on a curveball, he did this.
Oh, that's what we call you hang 'em, we bang 'em right there.
Yep.
And that's what this young man is capable of doing. Just love to see Gabby Arias figure out a way to put it all together.
There goes Schneemann, swinging a miss. Schneemann got a good jump, and he's into second with a stolen base. And now it's an 0-2 count on Arias, but a runner is in scoring position.
Well, great jump here by Daniel. You can see head down, he's taken off. Great job of sliding to the back corner of that bag. And now Gabby Arias with an opportunity here to find some green grass and tie this ball game up.
Schneemann 5 for 7 in stolen bases. So Arias a chance, but again, he's down 0-2 here to DeGrom. And a swing and a miss. 9th strikeout for Jacob DeGrom. Guards retired in the 7th. Got a runner in scoring position, but couldn't get him in. To the 8th we go in Cleveland.
here at the ballpark when the Guards take on the White Sox. 15,000 fans will receive a patriotic cap courtesy of Car Parts Warehouse, and all fans can enjoy a $2 Miller Lite pregame and postgame fireworks show presented by Nestle. Get your tickets at CLEGuardians.com.
Top of the 8th inning here in Cleveland. Call to the bullpen brought to you by the Cleveland Clinic. Here's Sean Armstrong relieving Bybee, who pitched great tonight.
Tanner Bybee pitched fantastic tonight, continued his dominance of the month of June. And now Sean Armstrong, since he has been back from the injured list, has been better. And now tasked with keeping this just a 1-run deficit.
And Tanner Bybee did not walk a batter tonight. There's Tanner. Nicky Lopez, 1 for 2, singled and scored on Peterson's home run back in the 3rd inning. And it's 2-0 against Sean Armstrong. A look at the Lopez numbers, now on a 7-game hitting streak. Originally slated to play second base tonight, moved over to short when Seager was scratched. Will be followed by Peterson and Young. Hitters 9, 1, and 2 in the Rangers batting order. 2 and 2. Armstrong with that sweeper. It's a big key for him, that sweeper. When he's got that going well and commanding it, that makes Armstrong really a different pitcher.
Right. It's the pitch that he kind of rides and dies with. He'll mix in a cutter as well. Obviously the 4-seam fastball, the 2-seamer with a little bit of movement. But he really relies heavy on that spin, whether it's the sweeper or the cutter.
Here's the 2-2. The ground is short. Schneemann. A little bit of a line throw, but Manzardo able to keep his foot on the bag for the out. Nice job by Kyle over there. Let's pause for a minute. Hear a message from Liberty Ford.
Liberty's in Aurora, Maple Heights, Canton, Palmer Heights, Brunswick, Vermilion.
So 1 out for the top of the order, and Jock Peterson with his 5th home run in his last 6 games earlier tonight, back in the 3rd inning. The time it tied the game at 2. And sweeper a little bit. Well, that should have been called a strike. Got the upper quadrant there of the zone. Looked pretty good.
It did look good.
Those are tough.
You know, Jock Peterson, you know, the home run he hit off of Bybee earlier was very reminiscent of the one he just hit off of Shane Bieber to start the game in Toronto. He's ambushing now too, Chris, and I wonder if being around Seager and some of the guys that they're with Texas, is that becoming part of his game as a leadoff hitter, because he hit the first pitch of the game against Toronto. It was the first pitch in the second at bat versus Bybee.
Well, that very well could be. I mean, Jock and Corey have been together for a long time,
right,
going back to their Dodger days.
Smokes that one to right, but it's hooking, and it is gone, isn't it? No. Wait a minute. The ump says foul. Peterson said it was gone. Well, see if we have a challenge. We have a disagreement.
I would imagine they're going to take a look at this no matter what.
I'm pretty sure it's foul, guys. From down here, it looked foul. If I'm Jock, I would have said the same thing.
Yeah. Fair point.
Just run.
I watched Jock, and he started trotting, and he said that's fair. And then the first base umpire, Chris Siegel,
immediately
said foul.
Jumped out of the dugout and said, "Hey, can we get together and take a peek at this?"
From my angle, it looked like it went to the right of the foul pole. I'm standing on that, Laz.
All right, see what Laz Diaz says.
This will be a crew chief review for a foul ball.
All right, so they'll take a look at it.
It's close one way or another.
All right, let's take a look.
Oh, that's foul.
It is
but
definitely
not by
foul.
much.
Yep.
Holy smokes.
Passes in front of the pole.
Game of inches.
Tell you, Jock Peterson sold it well, though.
Yeah, but immediately,
right,
the fan base down there is pointing foul, which is exactly what they should be doing.
Well, he was taking Brian Honor, couldn't see it first. He had to go around him.
Trying to set up
Jack knows.
After review, the call's been confirmed. It is a foul ball.
Somebody get that man a teddy bear.
Well played, my friend. So it's 1-2 to Jock Peterson. Brian O'Norris saying, yeah,
he said he saw it the whole way.
Yeah. Well, I want to talk about a hot bat. Peterson's been swinging one. You got to be careful with him. Checks his swing, maybe. Yes, says Eric Bacchus. 2-2.
Well, in general, you want to stay away from down against Jock, in particular down and in, kind of his nitro zone.
3-2.
It's funny you say that because it is his nitro zone, but he's been hitting that high pitch out.
He has.
The high off-speed pitches.
High and away is the key there.
True.
Get extended.
That one popped up straight back and out of play. Josh Young is on deck for Texas. 1 out, nobody on here in the 8th inning. 3-2 Rangers. 3 runs on 5 hits. Cleveland 2 runs on 4. And a swing and a miss. Nice strikeout for Armstrong as Peterson flips the bat in frustration. But he is out number 2.
Well, this is a perfect pitch. If you're going down and in, it can't be for a strike. You can see that thing heat seeking to the back foot there. Not sure that's exactly where he intended it to be, but sometimes that works as well.
It does. Peterson thought he was going to get one over the plate. Swung over that one as the replay showed. Here's Young.
Heads up.
Singled back in the 1st inning. Flew out to center in the 3rd. Grounded out to short in the 6th. 2 outs and nobody on for Josh Young. Again, is always a threat to take one deep as well.
Yeah, Josh has had a very nice bounce back campaign this year. He's dealt another guy that's dealt with a lot of injuries. But so far this season's been healthy and putting up monster numbers.
2-1. The Ranger third baseman. Looking ahead to the 8th for Cleveland. Bailey, Kwan, and Bazana are due. In the air to right, hit well. Watson is going back. Watson at the wall, it is gone. Josh Young, his 9th home run of the season. An opposite field shot, and Texas takes a 4-2 lead.
Well, again, another sweeper that just stayed up. Something he could get his barrel to. We just sat here and talked about very dangerous hitter. As you can see, this is kind of a spinner up in the heart of the plate. And give Josh Young credit. He didn't try to pull that baseball, allowed it to travel. And again, with it being such a warm night tonight,
just kept going.
Just kept going.
It's funny, in April we say, boy, if we were in June, that ball's gone. And now in June we say, if this was April, that's a fly.
That's true. Shoot, if this was the other day, that was a fly. Just the way the wind was blowing.
So here's Cam Cauley. First pitch ground ball to Arias at 3rd. He's the 3rd out. However, the Rangers added an insurance run on the solo homer by Josh Young. 4-2 Rangers, middle of the 8th.
On sale for the Cleveland Guardians Charities 50-50 raffle with a guaranteed jackpot of $50,000. One lucky winner will take home half the prize. The other half will benefit Cleveland Guardians Charities and support more than 15,000 youths in the Cleveland area. This raffle ends Sunday at midnight, so get your tickets now at CLEGuardians5050.com.
Well, Jacob deGrom is finally out of the game tonight. He was fantastic. 7 innings, 9 strikeouts, just 2 runs allowed. How good were both of these starters tonight? As we take a look at Peyton Gray, he's the new Texas pitcher, and he throws strike 1 to Bailey on a swing and a miss. Well, I think this says it all. Runners in scoring position tonight. Texas 0 for 1. Cleveland 1 for 2. Just nobody was getting on base.
Nobody was on base, and that doesn't necessarily tell the entire story. Both these guys were in the strike zone at will today and had complete command of all their stuff.
1-2 on Bailey. Reached on a fielder's choice in the 2nd inning. Grounded out to second base in the 5th. That's here in the 8th. Cleveland down by 2. And a swing and a miss. 10th strikeout for Texas pitching tonight in the 1st out of the 8th inning. Let's take a look at our Bet365 around the league scores for you in the bottom of the 6th inning. The White Sox once again trouncing the Orioles. The White Sox just are not cooling off. Everybody keep waiting for that to happen. It hasn't.
Philadelphia. The part of that, Al, I'm sorry.
Ahead,
part of that scares you a little bit is that they were not playing well on the road. They've been great at home. They've gone to Baltimore, man, and they're riding it out. So maybe when they get here Thursday, it's going to be time to turn that around a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, let's hope. It's time to cool off.
You also wonder, too, with Baltimore, they have been they've been up against it this year.
On with the line drive base hit to left center field. Coming over quickly is Osuna to cut it off. He'll hold Kwan to a single. He's aboard with 1 out here in the 8th inning.
Got that foot down.
Oh, this is the changeup. One of Gray's favorite pitches, but he got that foot down, and you can see stays behind that baseball.
Chris, I say it sounds so simple, but when you watch his swing and his timing mechanisms, he's got to get that foot down to be able to do what he does.
It just allows him to see the baseball.
There's Bazzana. 0 for 3 tonight.
Other score that jumped out, Yankees are losing to Detroit 6-1. It's a Scooble day, and he has been really good.
He has, and the Yankees have struggled lately, too.
Yes, they have. The Tigers have their number this year, Al.
Yep, they certainly do. Have it again tonight in the Big Apple as Bazzana takes ball 2. And we'll have our first ABS challenge presented by T-Mobile of the night.
One for one.
All right.
I'm with Matt Laporta.
Yeah.
At least for this
right
one.
Now I am 100%. Too.
So it's 1-1 to Bazzana. Juan at first base. That one popped straight up right around home plate. Diaz makes the catch for the 2nd out.
Again, another changeup. This one was up. Unfortunately, Trav just underneath the ball. It pops it straight up an elevator shaft, but a good swing. Now, you miss in this location to this young man, it could be a different story.
That'll be great to see. DeLauder, first couple at bats tonight, he got a double and then hit a deep fly ball to left. He was right on DeGrom. Bat here against Gray for the first time with Kwan at first as Gray steps off the rubber. So DeLauder 1 for 3 with that double back in the 1st inning. Scored on the Kyle Manzardo 2-run homer. And that's been the only offense for Cleveland tonight. That 2-run shot by Manzardo in the 1st. So 1-0 to DeLauder. That one in the air to left. Osuna left plenty of room. Sides retired here in the 8th inning. Kwan gets a single. Cleveland can't push any across. We go to the 9th, 4-2 Rangers. Back here in Cleveland, Tanner Bybee gets our progressive defensive play of the game because on the hill tonight, he did as well as you can for a pitcher.
Oh, he certainly did. He was in and out of the strike zone when he wanted to be, executing on all corners. He was absolutely on it and just continued his torrid month of June.
7 innings, 2 earned runs for the quality start, 3 strikeouts, no walks for Tanner Bybee. And unfortunately for Tanner right now, he stands to be the losing pitcher unless Cleveland can reverse it here in the 9th. Here's Daniel Espino making his 4th appearance.
Yeah, and it's nice to see this young man continues to throw absolute cheese out of the bullpen, but finding opportunities to get this young man in the game, to continue to, mature him as a relief pitcher. And when you come out throwing something like that,
slider
makes it a little easier for Stephen Vota when that phone rings down there. Hey, get Espino going.
Yeah, it's pretty strong. You'll see hitters 4, 5, and 6. Berger, Duran, Carter. And we've talked about the Daniel Espino story with the couple of lengthy stays on the IL with the arm surgeries, but here he is making it to the major leagues and shows you that persistence patience can certainly pay off.
No doubt about it. And this has been one of the best stories this organization has seen in a while. And you're extremely happy for the young man. For, you wouldn't have faulted him at any point in time if he just said, you know what, this is it. I'm done after the second one. Shoulder surgeries already as it is are kind of fickle for a starting pitcher or just a pitcher in general. But his perseverance has certainly paid off.
2-2 now as he pumped that heater by him. Well, he always had an electric arm. He was topping 100 minor leagues. Straight back here, just to the left and up.
I thought you were going to make another play.
I was ready. I was going up glove hand.
Oh, that was coming up there way too hard for you putting your hand
That is
up.
the truth. I'd have caught the rebound of it.
I would have been in here with a split.
I would have given it the old college try.
There you go. Uh-oh.
Comes another one. That's a little low. All right.
That was going to the right side of the booth there.
Wait. What's going on next to you guys? Mayorga's a player, and he's got the thing's closed. They don't have the window open. Is it too hot for him?
Maybe
no, they probably got the AC working in there. Knowing him.
Welcome to the booth.
That one hit hard, and a diving play by Bazzana. Gets up, throws, and got it. Great play by Bazzana. Good stretch by Manzardo. And Berger retired here in the ninth.
Well, that certainly has to give Travis Bazzana a little bit of confidence there. You get this real time. This ball was hit pretty well. Good initial drop. And even better job of playing that hop, as that took a pretty high hop. Good job of Travis staying with that baseball, making a good throw to first base.
Yep. Travis Bazzana. A nice play there. And it's strike one to Duran with the four-seam fastball. He singled and scored the go-ahead run in the 7th inning on that two-base error. Give Texas the lead 3-2 at the top. 0-2. Daniel Espino trying to make quick work of Ezekiel Duran here in the ninth. He's able to hold up on that one. 100 on that four-seamer. It's a great spot, though. Up and in.
Up and in. Not a lot going to happen to you there. But again, this is easy cheese right here.
Yeah, he's thrown pretty effortlessly
Just
here tonight.
smooth.
Great to see. Swing and a miss. There's the Daniel Espino we've been talking about for a few years. Minor leagues, that high heat. You're not catching that 100-mile-per-hour heater.
Not too many guys can catch up to this ball at that location. And Duran's frustrated. But just hear it. You can hear it.
Yeah.
It's coming 100 miles an hour. If you can't see it, you can hear it at least.
Here's Evan Carter.
Oh, boy. Look at that.
Curveball at 76. So 100 on the fastball, 76 on the curve.
Good luck.
It'll mess you up a little bit.
Boy, I'll say.
Carter looking for his first hit of the night. Got to come back with a curve again. And Carter's up there thinking, all right, am I going to see that a third time, or
I'm pretty sure you're checking off on that one again. I'm sitting dead red right here.
He got it. He missed it. Strike two at 99. All right, Chris, 1 and 2. What do you say?
You can pretty much do whatever you want at this point. You've got a slider to the back foot. I love staying up above the strike zone with the fastball. It's been great tonight.
Fastball inside, 2 and 2, 101.
Kenny has not shown to this point in the at bat that he's able to catch up to that pitch.
Right.
You'd hate to do him a favor.
See if we see it again here on 2 and 2. There it is. 101, swing and a miss. Second strikeout for Espino. Rangers go 3 up, 3 down. Guardians with one more chance. Lats coming in for Texas. To the bottom of the ninth in Cleveland. Here's our key bank key play of the night. Here in the 6th inning. Fly ball to left field was only the second out. It was in the 7th inning. Unfortunately, Cooper Ingle thought there were 3 outs there. Tossed it into the stands. And that allowed an unearned run to score and give Texas the lead 3-2. An unearned run to break the tie, and now it's 4-2 Rangers.
Yeah, unfortunate mistake there for the young phenom. One that I hope he will never make again. And not much really you can do. And the face says it all. It's an unfortunate situation. Everybody's had a situation like that in their baseball career. You just hope and pray that it never happens in a tight game at the big league level, but you've got to acknowledge it and move on.
So Jacob Latz is in. Try and pick up the save. Last night he came on in the 8th inning. You'll see a pinch hitter to lead it off, and Brian Rocchio pinch hitting for Kyle Manzardo. David Fry is on deck. He will most likely pinch hit for Watson. The numbers on Latz, a former starter who has really settled into this closer role for the Rangers.
Yeah, and he threw 2 innings last night. Just 17 pitches, though, in those 2 innings was extremely efficient.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because Lads was thought of coming into the season as a starter.
Right.
If you go back and look, he was so good late last year, Al, that they thought he was going to be in their starting rotation.
Yep.
And now you see a guy that was in the rotation to be in their closer possibly because he's got a great fastball from the left-hand side.
And he knows the up and downs.
Yes.
He's got the most 5-out saves.
That's right.
At least in Major League Baseball. 2 innings.
Taking advantage of him already being stretched out. It's a smart move with how they use their bullpen.
Rocchio grounds out to lead off the 9th. David Fry will pinch hit. Khalil Watson. Stephen Vogt using his right-handed sticks. Trying to get something going here in the 9th against Jacob Latz, and being a left-handed closer too, there's always something special about that. It seems it's a little bit different. If you've got a lefty that can get righties and lefties out in the 9th inning, lefties aren't used to seeing a lefty in that 9th.
Lefties are certainly not, and make that righties for that matter.
Fry hits that one high and deep, but foul. Strike 1.
Well, in general, in pinch hit situations, you'd love to see your guys go up there and be aggressive on a pitch in the strike zone. David Fry just a hair early.
Here's the 0-1 pitch coming from Latz. It's in the dirt. Cleveland needs to find a way to get a base runner to get the tying run to the plate. Cooper Engel is on deck. It would be followed by Daniel Schneemann should we get that far. Still have on the bench Austin Hedges and Rhys Hoskins. That one is off the plate for ball 2.
Well, I would imagine if Fry gets himself out here, Engel may potentially hit for himself. If he's on base, you would probably see Rhys Hoskins.
3-1 now to David Fry.
But if David Fry finds his way on base, my guess is Rhys Hoskins will be the next batter.
Key pitch here in the 9th. Ground ball just foul. That'll run the count full to David Fry.
This was close. Fry pulled the trigger just a hair too early on that fastball in a fastball count. Now you got to go back to up and out over the plate, push that breaking ball in.
And a swing and a miss for David Fry. He's the second out here in the 9th. Cooper Engel will bat. 2 outs in the 9th inning, and the Guardians down by 2. He's 0 for 3 tonight. Couple of strikeouts and a ground out to short. Stay tuned after the game. Guardians post game. Kaylee Griffin, Austin Jackson. Talk about this one. And Cooper Engel would like to challenge that one. Well, he's going to be disappointed, I believe. ABS Challenge brought to you by T-Mobile.
Good pitch there on the corner.
So Cleveland still has 1 challenge remaining. His first challenge tonight.
Worthwhile.
Yep. At this point, 2 outs in the 9th.
Can't take them with you, absolutely.
0-1 pitch coming from Lance. We'll check on that one. Bringle looking for his second major league hit or a walk. Something to try and extend this game. Swing and a miss there on the slider. Well, that was a good one.
That was nasty right there.
And now the Guardians down to their last strike before the sun is set, literally and figuratively, in Cleveland. That one called strike on the outside corner. Got a challenge, will not use it. It was on the corner anyway, and that's the ball game. Final score: Texas 4, Cleveland 2, as the Rangers score the final 4 runs of this game. A 2-run homer by Jock Peterson, a solo home run by Josh Young, counted for 3 of the 4 runs for Texas, and they win it 4-2.
Yeah, and again, Texas has now taken this series, taken the season series, which could turn into potentially being very important down the road, as they are currently in first place, but a lot of baseball left to be played.
Certainly is. And now Texas, chance for a sweep tomorrow afternoon, as it'll be a hot one in Cleveland, and we'll be coming to you at 12:30 as Guardians pregame begins with our coverage for Cleveland and the Texas Rangers. Stay tuned now, though. Guardians postgame is coming up with Kaylee and Austin. Great job tonight by the starting pitchers, DeGrom and Bybee. But ultimately, it was the Rangers with the win, 4-2. For Chris Jimenez and Andre Knott, I'm Al Pulowski. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Stay tuned.